Hey y'all, I have some books that I want to give you quick reviews of. And maybe, if you're interested in knowing any more about these, you can let me know in the comments. And I'll take a closer look at them. We could look at them together. The bell curve is a big fucking waste of time. I mean, it's totally useless. Let's see. Intelligence and class structure in American life. I mean, so look, you've got this big ass study about something that we can see with our eyes, something that we know, and it's just you observe. It's observable. It's not. This isn't necessary. And the only reason that I bought it is for the same reason that everybody bought it. That was for Chapter 16. Chapter 16 is about blacks. And it's just saying, well, according to our studies. And so, dude, don't waste your time. This book sucks. This book is great. This is Prenatal Testosterone in Mind, Amniotic Fluid Studies. This is a good book from 2004. In 2004, it was published by the MIT Press that autism is caused by overexposure to prenatal testosterone in utero, and the same thing is responsible for hermaphroditism. This is a good book. The Influence of Women and Its Cure by John Erskine. It's a good book. It's a good book. Well, first of all, the pages. I mean, just the Bobbs Merrill Company. I mean, because of what they've done with John Erskine's book, pardon my fingernail, it's my favorite publishing company. And John Erskine is just always a delight. Well, most of the time. Where's the date? Give me the date. Okay. Oh, 1936. And to the men of America, those who remain. 1936. All right. I'm just going to read, the first bit. So, the influence of women and its cure. Of women, not of woman. We men who have reason for gratitude to some one woman have reason also to be on our guard against women in the group. Women organized, women on the march, and even when the menacing confederation includes her. Women add themselves to other women, in this cause or that for the sake of a wider influence. But the best part of woman's nature refuses to go into the common pool. The influence which women exercise in mass is funny when not distressing, distressing when not pernicious. To realize her true talent for inspiration, woman should be isolated. And of course, he's talking about in the company of men, in particular a woman's husband. This is a really good book. And it's all about how the individual woman has the power to inspire and drive a man. And, yeah. A confederacy of dunces. A masterwork. The novel astonishes with its inventiveness. It is nothing less than a grand comic figure. Looks like it. I mean, this is a handsome piece of art right here, just the cover. It's a very funny, quirky thing. I got this far. Must have been in high school or middle school. I'm guessing high school because I didn't really read a book until I was 16. Oh, wait, no, I got this far. Oh, 2012, okay. Ooh, what does this say? Presently, I blank. Oh, my, erasing your name, letting disgrace you, pretending you... which when we declined, encouraging your spell, all I've got on the line, and your life must be grand since you live it without me. Forget that too. Oh, to each other we were devout. I've forgotten who you are, scared to muse. I don't know. This seems to be a poem I wrote. Okay, sorry. um, well, if I really must. Okay, will you listen to me? Well, if I really must. Look at this ugly little nail. I'm sorry. Well, if you really must. I should perhaps warn you that I am about to faint from anxiety and general depression, though. Yeah, like that's never, no one's ever said that. Will you listen to me? Well, if I really must, I should perhaps warn you that I am about to faint from anxiety and general depression, though. The film I saw last night was especially grueling. A teenage beach musical. I almost collapsed during the singing sequence on Surfboard. In addition, I suffered through 2 nightmares last night, one involving a scenic cruiser bus. Okay, I'm just gonna... This is a bad book. I used to love Stephen Fry, and I heard him say that this is his favorite book, and so I bought it, and it also sucks. And I've learned, particularly after I was salved by Jesus, that novels are just a big waste of time unless there's something really special going on with them. So I used to be trans. I cross-dressed all my teen years, and I came out as trans at 18, and I was publicly a quote-unquote girl until I was 23, when I had started hormone replacement therapy, and then I quit after I started getting fat, and I got introspective, and I realized that my trans thing, it was a manifestation of severe trauma. But anyway, this is Magnus Hirschfeld, sexologist. I found this because after I snapped out of the trans thing, I wanted to understand what had happened to me. But look, this is the erotic drive to cross-dress, and it talks about what we would today call transgender people 100 years ago or more. Let's see. And back then, the men... So this is a collection from 1991, it seems. The men were open that it was an erotic thing. It was you dress like a girl and you jack off and here's the thing. I'm not going to speak too much to it. Hey, any trans people out there want to come and have a conversation with me? Let's talk. Let's tell everybody what it's like. Anyway, this is a weird book. I'm reluctant to say that it is a good book because it's just interviews with men talking about dressing like women and jacking off. But it is a picture of a certain part of time. This man, Magnus Hirschfeld, here, look. Magnus Hirschfeld is the first so-called sexologist, and people were, I'm trying to think of the right word. I mean, for lack of a better word, maybe shy to talk about sex. I assume. I mean, I didn't live then, but my point is that this man was responsible for making sexual perversion a semi-mainstream conversation. I mean, it's something that was brought through his research and his publications to the public mind for the first time. And he touches on everything. There's I don't know if he touched on puppy play or anything like that. There was another guy called, I don't know, so it doesn't matter. Wait. We have sexual sadism. Okay, let's check it out from here. This is what this book covers. Let's see, normal development of sexuality, the physical basis of sexuality, the psychological basis, irregular sexual development, quantitative irregularities. That's very interesting stuff. Let's see. That's why you want to read this one. see. Deflections of the sexual impulse. Androgyny, transvestism, introduction to the theory of homosexuality, forms of homosexuality. What are those forms? Active and passive. Forms of intercourse. Ew, I don't even want to read this. Manual, oral, femoral, anal intercourse between homosexual women. Imitation of normal coitus. Substitutes used by female homosexuals. Choice of object, young or old. Predilection for soldiers. Complicated cases. Intensity of the sexual impulse in homosexuals. Question of responsibility, masturbation, alcohol. Diagnosis of homosexuality and causes. That's interesting. I haven't read this whole book. I guess I need to go over that. Maybe each chapter. Maybe I could do a video for each chapter. There's a lot here. Sexual murder. A case of sexual murder. Necrophilia. Fetishism. Let's see. Parts of the body as fetishes. Inanimate objects as fetishes. Exhibitionism. All right. Scopophilia. What is that? It sounds gross. Okay. So look, I mean, these two, it's not that they're good books, but they are specimens. They are evidence. They are a picture of a certain place and time. And really, the whole sexual revolution begins with him. So that's why this is good. The Arctic Home in the Vedas by freaking Lokmanya Bal Gangdara Tilak. There he is. I think that's a drawing. The idea of a lost ancient civilization located at the North Pole at a time when its climate was friendlier to human habitation is suggested in many of the world's oldest myths and sacred scriptures. Drawing upon his vast knowledge of the Hindu Vedas and the Zoroastrian Vesta, the leak makes a painstakingly detailed analysis. Okay, here, highlight painstakingly detailed. This book is painstaking to read. It's a bad book. Nice try, Indian guy. I'll go over this one after. Last, I got two more. The Gentleman and the Jew by Maurice Samuel. What can I say about it that hasn't already been said by the author of The World of Shalom, Alakim, and Prince of the Ghetto? I mean, this book is simply a brilliant, controversial analysis of two conflicting ideals. Man, oh man, I love this book. I mean, this is just a Jew speaking candidly in the year 1950, just after they won the war, about the relationship, the spiritual relationship between... I mean, just listen to this. This is a searching study of two contrasting and mutually exclusive ideals. Mr. Samuel's thesis is that the gentleman is a purely pagan ideal, first formulated by the Greeks, transmitted through the Renaissance by Machiavelli and Castiglione, and popularized in our age by Kipling and the movies. The gentleman, says Mr. Samuel, is a killer. He is the noblest kind of killer, but a killer nonetheless. Therefore, the term a Christian gentleman is a contradiction. One is either a gentleman or a Christian. In this sense, Christian and Jew is identical moral ideals. The concept of the Jew was born among the Old Testament prophets. It was restated by Jesus in the New Testament. The deep cleft in the psychology of the modern Christian world is caused by Christendom's attempt to unite the two contradictory ideals: the competitive gentleman who plays the game, and the cooperative Jew of Christ type.
who does not recognize the laws of competition, and whom morality is not a game played according to rule, but the foundation of life. In the first section, Mr. Samuel describes his childhood in England and his defecation from Jewish ideals. In the second section, he describes how, a disappointed rationalist, he turned again to the Hebrew prophets. In the third section, he examines the Zionist movement in its attempt to give new substance, expression to the Jewish ideal, and the probable effect of the Jewish ideal of the creation of the new state of Israel. The final chapter of this remarkable book is that it re-examines the moral issues of our time in the light of what Mr. Samuel has learned.
Yeah, boring. That was boring, but it's a really interesting book, and I would buy it again. This is the bet. Let me show you my two best books. These are my two best books. Let me go get one of them. Here's one of them. You know, if this first book, which is my best book, you know, if somebody would not be inclined to read this first book, I think they might be inclined to read this book. Every Man a King, Might in Mind Mastery, by Orson Swett Martin. (1906). And I'll just take you through the chapters real quick. Steering Thought Prevents Life Wrecks. How Mind Rules the Body. Thought Causes Health and Disease. Our Worst Enemy is Fear. Overcoming Fear. Killing Emotions. Mastering Our Moods. Unprofitable Pessimism. The Power of Cheerful Thinking. And Negative Creeds Paralyze. Oh, there's more. Affirmation creates power. Thoughts radiate as influence. How thinking brings success. Power of self-faith over others. Building character. Strengthening deficient. Strengthening deficient qualities. Gain beauty by holding the beautiful. Gain beauty by holding the beauty thought. The power of imagination. Don't let the years count. How to control thoughts, and the coming man will realize his divinity. Do you see? So, like, this book is about this book. This book puts in a technical and scientific way the things that this book puts in allegory. Ew, gross. Nails are gross. Sorry. I'll read a tiny bit to you. It is astonishing what power our mind has over our body. Let the mind therefore always be the master. That is Goethe, or Goeth, as I like to call him. Before one can do much toward controlling thought, there must be realization of its power and importance, not mere acceptance of a statement. You must feel, you must be convinced that a bad thought harms you, that a good thought helps you. There must be no playing with fire and a careless feeling that it matters little if you are off your guard part of the time. You must know in your innermost consciousness that thought alone is eternal, that it is the master of your fate, and that the thought of every moment has its part in deciding that fate. You must feel that proper control of your own thoughts will cause all good things to come naturally to you, just as all bad things will be your portion if you misuse your God-given powers. Such realization must come through consideration of proved facts. So, these are some books. I think I recommend all of them except for the Arctic Home in the Vedas, the Confederacy of Dunces, and the Bell Curve, and Under the Volcano. So half of them are good, half of them are crap. This is the best one. Let me show you this one real quick. This is the New Testament, illustrated in color, the Confraternity version. So, Confraternity version, this is the last standard version of the Latin Bible. Okay, it's from the Latin Vulgate, and this was the last time that it was, this was the last Bible that the Catholic Church standardized. Let's get a date on it. There we go. In the 50s, this was before the Vatican II. So what the Vatican II did is that it said, look, we don't you Catholics, you don't have to worry about just reading official standard versions from the Latin Vulgate. You can go read any version of the Bible you want to. So this was the last standard Catholic Bible before the Second Vatican, and it's the best version. And I was salved by Jesus Christ reading this version. It retains much of the beauty of Middle English, such as we see in the King James, but only those parts which are beautiful, and it makes it simple to read and not so silly as the King James is. And I'll read a portion to you. I guess let's just stop right here and see what Jesus wants us to... Oh, I was just talking about when I was salved by Jesus. And here we go, look. Salvation through faith in Christ. The word saved can be controversial to non-Christians. Don't say saved anymore. Don't hope to be saved. Jesus doesn't save. He salves. He salves. He makes you a Christ like him. Christ meaning oil, salve, salvation. Come on, think. Justice comes through faith in Christ, but now the justice of God has been made manifest, independently of the law, being attested by the law and the prophets, the justice of God through faith in Jesus Christ upon all who believe. For there is no distinction, as all have sinned and have need of the glory of God. They are justified freely by his grace through the redemption which is in Christ Jesus, whom God has set forth as a propitiation by his blood through faith to manifest in justice. God, in his patience, remitting former sins to manifest his justice at the present time, so that he himself is just and makes just him who has faith in Jesus. Wow, we talk about a word salad, huh? Come on, Paul. But the thing is, it's not Paul's fault. Remember Jesus warned us of scribes and Pharisees. So the scribes, who are the people who write this stuff, they make it where, the common folk can't understand it. But Jesus Christ is self-sacrifice for one another, and that's what salves us and lifts us out of suffering, is whenever we live for one another, sacrificing ourselves. And that is salvation. That's what it's saying, because we are the body of Jesus Christ. We are literally him. He is his followers come together as one body in the Spirit of God. So this is the best book ever, specifically the Confraternity version. God bless you, brothers and sisters. Have a good evening.